Your turn, Yogi boy.
What is up, guys? This is AlintheaYoh coming at you today with a debut deck profile of my Spyral deck. Now obviously this is a little bit late for legitimate reasons, but however, let's get straight into it. So the new Spyral support that came out, there was one just amazing card that was Spyral Resort, and everything else was just a bit so it's been difficult to build this deck consistently, and I still don't think it's that consistent. I still think it has a long way to go, and the next set needs to bring out some really good cards to make it meta competitive. So starting us off, we have 3 Spyral Super Agent. Obviously we're playing Super Agent. He is one of the main cards in the deck. He's the card that the whole deck revolves around, and being able to declare card type, monster, spell, or trap, and you look at the top card of your opponent's deck. If you get it right, you get to special summon it. Then you get to pop a back row. It's good, you know, it is a pretty decent card. Being 1/9 Earth level 4 is always good if you ask me. And just in general, it's one of those cards that is needed for you to revolve around, because it's nice the way that the whole archetype ties in the fact that you have this agent that the whole deck revolves around. You have obviously the mage, you have the drones, all this stuff, and I like the concept of it, but there needs to be some really good, like, for example, new tech to come out in the next set, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. So next up we have the 3 Quickfix. Quickfix is probably the best card in the deck. It's funny how the tech guys are probably the best one anyway, but when he's normal or special summoned, you get to add on Spyral Gear card from your deck to your hand, and it isn't once per turn. So you can summon this card, get its effect, then activate Machine Duplication, for example, and then special summon 2 more and get 2 more effects. So there's a lot of search power and a lot of potential with this card. I just want to see a way to abuse it a little bit more, and I think it's good that this card didn't have the restriction of once per turn, blah blah blah. But it is good because it allows you to open up some players with, for example, the Resonators, but I'll show you them a little bit later on. But 3 is a must in this deck. Unless the deck completely changes at how it collects its resources, Quickfix will always be a 3 of, and Spyral Agent will probably be at least a 2 of in my opinion, but probably 3 until we see otherwise. Next up we have the 1 Spyral Gear Drone. Drone is a pretty decent card, but not decent enough to have in multiple copies in my opinion. The fact that you can scout out the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and then play the effect of Spyral Agent is kind of cute, but other than that, that's kind of its only main use in the deck. Obviously you can tribute it, increase a monster by 500, one of your spirals, but you don't really use it all that much if I'm honest, and it's only in a very peak situation. So next up we have 1 Spyral Master Plan. So Master Plan is one of the brand new cards that came out in Invasion Vengeance, and it is a good card, but it being a level 7 is a little bit awkward. You can summon it out with the new continuous spell card. You can bring it out with a big red if it's in the graveyard. There are possible plays you can do, but it being like 1200 attack is really horrible. 2800 defense is pretty good, but if you don't know what it does, once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral Mission card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Spyral Resort and 1 Spyral Monster from your deck to your hand. Except Spyral Master Plan, you can only activate. You can only use this effect of Spyral Master Plan once per turn. So you see how it works. The problem with the second effect, although that it is really good, it's probably going to be on the field for a while, if I'm completely honest, because, you know, that 2800 defense is pretty big. Probably going to have it with big red, so it can't die by battle, and yeah, it's just a bit of a weird one. If the effects were reversed, if it said that each turn you can add one of those copies, then that would be absolutely amazing, and it would give people warrant enough to run it. Would it be too broken? Well, no, because the way that the deck runs, you know, but this is all just semantics. So that's why it's at 1 for now, and it won't really stay, it won't really change from that. So going on to the Speedroid Engine, we have 3 Terratop and 1 Tentakumborg. Reason why I'm running these is because I can simply get to Invoker really quickly, and it also means that I can bring out the Spyral Master Agent as well, or Spyral Agent. Pretty much with Invoker with ease. So it has good plays. Terratop is very important in here because it does just excel you into your main card, and yeah, that's really all I need to say about it. You can run like multiple copies if you really want of Tentakumborg, but 1 is kind of decent, that's all I really need. So the Resonator Engine, we have 3 red Resonator and 1 Synchron Resonator. So these cards are really good in this deck because not only does Resonator allow you to, red Resonator allow you to kick off the effect of Spyral Master Plan, sorry, not Spyral Master Plan, of Quickfix, it also means that you can go into your Synchro plays, and this is kind of the way that the deck revolves right now for me. It is more of a Synchro based deck. And that is where it really shines. I saw a cute little deck profile of a Metafo deck version of this that I might try out, but I'm unconvinced on that one just yet. So the red Resonators are really decent, as well as the 1 Synchron. The reason why I'm playing one of these is simply because it just makes it a little bit easier for when I have a Synchro on my side of the field to special summon out, and it's a nice level 1 that I can go into further play. So for example, if I'm into like Ancient Fairy Dragon, I've already used this effect, I can then special summon that, go into Crystal Wing, and really put pressure on my opponent. So that is why I play that, and 3 of those is pretty standard, the red Resonators. Next up we have the 1 Jet Synchron. I do run the Excel Synchron engraved because it means that I can make quick synchros. Obviously I'm playing that type of deck, so yeah, it makes sense. And discarding the Master Plan, for example, with that card is good because it loads up the grave. And then finally the 1 Global. As you may have saw, the main agent is a level 4 Earth. This is an Earth. Naturia Beast plays are real. So, going on to the spells, and the best card of the supports that came out is Spyral Resort. It is a field spell. Your opponent cannot target other Spyral monsters you control with card effects. Once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, during the end phase, shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into the deck or destroy this card. So there's 3 very important effects there, and all 3 are really good. So you can't target Spyral cards with effects. Standard, really good, solid effect. Then you have a rotor, so you can add a Spyral monster from your deck to your hand. But not only that, in the end phase you have to shuffle in a monster from your graveyard into the deck. Now you might think, well, that's a strange kind of cost that you have for the card. It's actually really good because it means that you can put certain cards back into your extra deck. For example, you can put in, if the Naturia Beast has died, put a Naturia Beast into your extra deck. If you have, for example, a machine duplication and you've drawn 2 of your Spyral quick fixes, put Quickfix back from your graveyard into your deck to make it live. So there's a lot of good reasons why Spyral Resort is just so good, and there are a lot of good plays with it. So the fact that it has a quote-unquote cost isn't really a cost in my opinion, so that's why I really do like it. It was the best card that came out for the deck so far. Then we have 3 Terraforming, pretty standard, you know. Resort is too good of a card not to get, so that's why I played 3. Next up we have 3 Spyral Gear Big Red. You're basically Foolish Burial for the deck, and it's just really decent. If you don't know what it does, it's an equip spell card, activates by targeting the Spyral monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, equip it to this card, and then it can't be destroyed by battle, and you can only activate once per turn. Now the side problem with this is that a lot of people are running DD Crow, and the fact that you have to target the Spyral in your graveyard means that it will just fizzle if they do activate DD Crow. Just one of those things that happens. But needless to say, this card is just absolutely brilliant. Gets out your Master Plan from the graveyard, allows you to extend certain plays, gets your Quick Fix effect off, just everything like that. It's really good for the deck. This is a standard 3 of, in my opinion, and I really do like it. Then one of the new cards, we have Spyral Mission Assault. It is a new continuous spell card that says destroy this card during the end phase. So your 3rd end phase after activation. Once per turn, if a Spyral monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle, or if it destroys cards on the field with a Spyral monster's effect you control, draw a card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Spyral monster from your hand. So during the 3rd end phase, this card dies. Okay, that's kind of just a built-in self-destruction effect. But if your Spyral monster destroys your opponent's monster by battle, or using a Spyral effect, it destroys something, for example, the main Spyral agent, where you would pop a back row, then you get to draw a card. It's nice, it's cute, but we need better ways to actually destroy cards with their effects. With battle, it's not the greatest in my opinion right now, because you're not going to be doing a whole amount of attacking. Only like Spyral Agent is your main attacker, and that's kind of it. And then the fact that you can banish it to special summon out a Spyral from your hand, it's good. It means that you just don't clog a little bit. If you do have that Master Plan in your hand, you can just banish this and special summon it. That is quite nice, but we need more of those cards in my opinion. But it's a 2 of because it's a good card, but it's not an incredible card. So that's why it's a 2. We have 3 Resonator Call. Again, don't really say too much about that one. I'm playing 4 Resonators, so 3 of that is good because you want to see them as quickly as possible. 2, Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion's a great card. Just in general, being able to access a lot of decent monsters as well as Norden. So yeah, Instant Fusion is great. The 2, Machine Duplication is good because, you know, it's a target for Quickfix and that's why you play it. 3 is just too much in my opinion. The 1-for-1, again, Quickfix is good, but then you do have other things like your glow bulb and such that you can get out. So 1-for-1 is a pretty decent one in here. 2-dimensional barrier. Dimensional barrier is really good, and you know, I did make a video on this, how good it just is. This format shuts down a lot of your opponent's plays, so that's why I'm running it at 2. So yeah, you can run 3 if you want. If you don't want to run it, then there are other cards you can use. And then finally the Solemn Brigade to round it off. So that, I think it was 42 cards in the main deck, because it is a bit difficult to build this one. So going on to the extra deck, we have a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So obviously a Crystal Wing's in here because it's very easy to get to. I synchro up quite a lot, and I am using existing synchro cards on my side of the field, so it makes sense to go into it. Then we have a 1 Sideframe Lord Omega. Card is really good. It can recur some of your banished cards if you do get there, but it's mainly to change up your opponent's plays and take stuff out and kind of stun them a little bit. The 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, I must say this is probably one of my favourite ghost looking rare cards ever. It's good just because you can pop your resort and make some further plays, so there are some cute plays that you can do with it, and as I said earlier, you can use your level 1 Synchro and then go into like Crystal Wing, so it is good. Next up, the 1 Coral Dragon. This is here just because I kind of like the fact that I can try and disrupt my opponent, get some cards out of my hands. It is pretty decent like that, so the 1 Coral Dragon is pretty good. The 1 Naturia Beast, as I said earlier, I can go into this card so easily, and it can really put your opponent on tilt. It can really make them struggle, so they have to really extend to try and get rid of it. So that's why I do like it. The 1 Excel Synchron, obviously I'm running this because I'm running Jet Synchron. It can make further plays on its 4th, don't really say too much about that one. The 3 Go-Yo Defender. So you might be thinking, why have you got 3 Go-Yo Defender in here? So the main combo that you do with this is that you use a red Resonator and a Quickfix. Quickfix, special summon, you got a level 2 and a level 3 and a tuner. So you go into the Go-Yo Defender, activate the Go-Yo Defender, special summon out Go-Yo Defender, Go-Yo Defender, special summon, so on and so forth. Then you overlay into an Invoker, then you bring something out, and then you see how this goes. So you've got a lot of different plays you can just do from 1 simple card combos, or 2 card combos, sorry. So Go-Yo Defender is really good for this deck, and that's why I do like it. And then finally for the Synchros, we have the 1 Formula Synchron. This is here simply because there are a lot of times when I will be able to go into this, and the extra draw is quite nice. So then going on to some of the XYZs, we have a Utopia 39 and S39. Obviously this is really good in Norden, and just in general, it's just a great game-changing card to get you out of some problem boss monsters. So that is why it is there. The 1 MX Saber Invoker, obviously this is to bring out your Spyral Super Agent. So yeah, don't really say too much about that. That's how you go into it with a Tentakenborg, for example, and the Terratop, or you do it with the Go-Yo Defenders, as I said. I was just completely blanking there, apologies. The 1 Ghost Trick Drawland, this is here because of your quick fixes. You'll be bringing loads out, so it's good to stun your opponent like that. And then finally we have the 1 Elder Entity Norden for your different little plays. XZ, Synchro, pick one, it doesn't really matter. So that is it, guys. That is the Spyral deck profile. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of Spyrals. Do you think they are a meta-competitive competitor? Or do you just think they're not really great and they need some really seriously competitive cards in the next set? So that said, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.